Right, fresh round 2 scraft coming from Romanticide. Who have we got? We've got, look, it's Nitro who has taken the place of Ryan in the tournament. This is the first time we've seen Nitro. He's playing Protoss in the top left of Romanticide. And Matticus, we are familiar with, is also playing Protoss in the bottom right. Yeah, don't know what to expect from Nitro. I know he's been playing a little bit. I know he's been practicing his builds and stuff, but obviously I haven't seen any of that play. PvP can be, you know, it's a fiddly one, PvP, isn't it? You don't really know what to expect. Back in the day, it used to be a Festival of Phoenix. These days, that's not so common. There's a lot of possible builds that you can crack out in PvP. Quite a few different things that we could see. So, yeah, a lot of it's going to depend on the sort of timings and stuff. Are players going to go aggressive? Are they going to get up 3 bases and sort of try and build a massive army, or are they going to try and get up in their opponent's face, get some hurt on? Both of these players sending workers out to scout by the looks of things. You can see on the mini map there they are going to pass each other pretty reasonably satisfyingly symmetrically. Although, yeah, I think this fella's coming to scout. It does. Yeah, it's interesting how the AI chooses the shortest path across the map sometimes, but pretty sure it's just a scout. So Nitro's worker is going to come in and just see the timing of the side core go down, check the timing of the expansion, which is faster than his own. Now Nitro does have the faster side core, you can see in the production tab there, but not massively faster. So he's gone for a gas steal here, and I've never really liked a gas steal. I just kind of think if you know your opponent's going for something very specific and you steal the gas, then yeah, sure, why not? Matticus just supply blocked momentarily there, which is a bit of an error. And Nitro is going to go ahead and drop this pylon in the corner. He's also got the gas here that he's going to have to, that Matticus is going to get rid of. I mean, Matticus, unless you're in a hurry for that gas, I wouldn't bother to pull workers. You know, this one's about to finish up. You could always drop a gas down here. By the time it's finished, this nexus would be finished up. If you're in a hurry for it, I would just wait for my zealot to come out and kill that. Looks like Nitro cancelled the pylon. Matticus coming over very sensibly just to check the corner of his base to see what's going on, and sees that there's nothing dodgy there. These workers are hanging out. Nitro, what are you building? Sentry coming in. No warp kit researched yet. No warp kit from either player actually researched yet. This is pretty weird because as Protoss, you get warp kit. That's what you do. Zealot walks very kindly, just strolls on past. The worker doesn't attack her or anything, which is nice of him. So yeah, Nitro, this worker is going to be able to pop in after a while and have another little look around. And it's just zealots from Matticus at this stage, which is unusual. I mean, he's not completely, you know, he's not completely gas starved or anything like that. He could have built a stalker there. It's going to be Nitro that's the first one to show any sort of signs of advanced tech with the Stargate coming down. On the other side of the map, it's a reasonably early forge for Matticus, so that can be useful against Stargate play. You know, you can put a cannon in the mineral line, and that is generally enough to keep you safe against things like a bit of Oracle harass. If, on the other hand, Mars decides to go for Phoenix, one cannon isn't really going to cut it. So Matticus could do with finding out what's up here. He also has a worker sort of parked outside in an almost symmetrical position to Nitro's here. And we'll be able to kind of send that in with a view to getting a scout. No, there is a stalker here, so actually if the worker tries to get past the stalker with the sentry as well, there's a good chance that Nitro can gun that down before it actually gets into the base. 2 stalkers, definitely. So I like this. I like the hallucinated Phoenix being sent across the map here. It's a really useful way to just get scouting information from your opponent's base. Costs you nothing. A little bit of energy off a sentry. You fire that Phoenix out. They move quickly. So you can generally get it into your opponent's base and have a good old snoop. At present though, it hasn't really bothered to fly it about the base. I'd like to see it doing a bit of a sweep, because just coming in and parking here, you've only seen this one corner, but you certainly could have, and I think you will now. Well, just about see the rest of the tech, or lack thereof. So I'm curious that Matticus hasn't gone up to any sort of tech yet. There's no Twilight, there's no Robo, and he has got the third down, so you sort of feel like he needs to make a decision on what tech he's going for. I wonder if he's waiting for scouting information before he makes a final choice. He is well ahead in the macro game though. His natural is up and mining, and fully saturated, and his third is up and is starting to mine now as well. And of course he can build workers for this third, 3 at a time, so it won't take long to saturate that at all. So Nitro lagging a bit behind. Yeah, there we go. So it is two oracles are going to come in here, and actually there's no worker pull from Matticus. It's pretty slow response, and the oracles do well, and are going to come in and possibly get a few more workers here in the main as well. So this is really nice actually from NITRO. This is exactly what he needs to slow down that macro from Matticus. If we look now, the worker supply just goes in favor of NITRO. Yeah, I don't know if NITRO knows about this base, because he certainly could have swung across there and maybe picked off a couple of extra workers. But while this nexus isn't finished, Matticus can be building workers 3 at a time if he needs to, compared to Nitro's 2, so he can catch this up. There's a fleet beacon and several more stargates coming in, so he's going up to 3 stargates here. With the fleet beacon, it looks like he wants to get up to that sort of tier 3 air army, and Matticus needs to be careful. Now on the other hand, if Matticus hits before this sort of big gun air army is out, he could cause some real problems here for NITRO. He has, I believe, got an upgrade advantage with +1 armor, and there are only 2 warp gates here for NITRO, and he isn't actually building any units at present apart from the Void Ray, so there's no kind of look at this bank. He's got an awful lot of money. It almost feels like he's saving up to be able to spam the carrier button or whatever, the Void Ray button, but he needs to be really careful. There's no shield batteries here, so these 6 stalkers could cause him some problems here. There's 2 zealots, 2 stalkers with the sentries. He should be able to hold this with the Void Rays as well, but the stalkers actually ended up shooting the refinery, which is not really what you want to do. You don't want to do damage to a refinery. Sniping a Void Ray is nice, but really it's time for Matticus to get out of there. He can't stay still and fight that. The slightly delayed force field comes down, doesn't quite delay this. Oh no, don't. No, just doesn't run far enough, and that's a shame, because he's essentially going to lose that stalker for free. So yeah, a solid hold, but I'd still love some shield batteries on both sides of the map. I'd like to see that. Now if Matticus pushes again with a couple more stalkers in the mix, these immortals will absolutely shrek the ground army of NITRO. Like, they'll just destroy it completely. So he'll only have what's in the air to fight, and if there are enough stalkers, then Matticus could potentially see that off. But air plus 1-1 is coming out for the air, so when I say 1-1, what I mean is +1 attack and +1 armor. And in the land of Matticus, he is building a lot of gateways. Now the oracles are going to come back in. There's nothing here to see them off, so they are going to get quite a few kills, and they'll be able to now fly into the men. Yeah, there's a single cannon, but you can just go around that. You can ignore that and just go to work on the probes here. Now you need to pull these back so that they're not trying to focus on anything but workers. Doesn't look like they're going to escape this time, but my goodness, what a lot of kills. Let's have a look. 33 workers have been killed in this game, which is pretty terrifying. So NITRO now with a substantial advantage in the worker count, a substantial supply advantage sorry, a substantial worker supply advantage, I meant to say. But that gives Matticus, actually, given that he's ahead in total supply, the much bigger army at present. But are there enough stalkers is the big question. Matticus really needs to be careful here, because once too many carriers are out, you just can't really fight them. They're so difficult to fight. What you find is the things that would counter carriers. I hate this. Why wouldn't you spread these out about the place? You know, look, all of these pylons, and yet all of your air production is powered off one. That's horrible. But no shield batteries here. I think Matticus's army is just too big at present. I mean, yeah, the Immortals don't shoot up, but there's only 3 carriers here. I'd love to see Matticus get Blink. That is pretty harsh and pretty rough timing with the worker transfer. So this ground army that's coming down here is just going to get destroyed in seconds. And NITRO, I think you better run, buddy. I think I'd love to see. I don't know about those force fields. I'd prefer them coming across like this to cut off the first sort of row of stalkers. It's so difficult when you're playing against carriers, because your army does try and shoot those interceptors, and if the carriers focused on the stalkers one at a time, but that the carriers at present even shooting Immortals, that's not what you need at all. The Immortals can't shoot you back. You need to be cleaning up these stalkers. Look at the way the interceptors confuse the AI. If you as the carrier player are right clicking these stalkers, you will kill them all. As the stalker player, you need to be trying to get under the carriers, trying to get some damage done. But this is almost critical mass, where there's enough stalkers to actually just kill the interceptors. And that wouldn't be the case if there were a few shield batteries here. You take a fight above the shield batteries and just everything dies. This many Immortals, though, would be one-shotting shield batteries pretty painfully. But on both sides, the micro is honestly pretty sloppy. I mean, as a player with carriers, you don't have much to do but click on the things you want to die. You don't really have to worry about the carrier positioning. So he is thinning out this stalker number a little, but look how many more are marching across the map. I think Matticus just walks up here and takes this. Once the stalkers, finally the shield batteries come down. But my goodness, is it ever too late? You've lost your natural, you've lost the expansion, you're still fighting out of the range of the shield batteries, so stop that. What you need is for this stuff to try and come up the ramp towards you. You need to pull the carriers back, let them rebuild the interceptors, and let the interceptors fight in range of these shield batteries. So the carriers still need to come back a little bit further. Interestingly, the Immortals at the front, I'm not so sure about that, but arguably as the interceptors come out and try and hit them, the stalkers can focus them down. So it doesn't look like NITRO can do enough to stop this really feisty army. It's got a lot of damage output. Once these Immortals start to focus a building, that building will fall very quickly indeed. All he needs to do is take out this pylon. And all of the production stops. There it goes. So that is in fact GG. Very nice.